Welcome back everyone to another NRG, this time on the Amstrad CPC of course, and here we are with a game which was also very highly anticipated but also very highly disappointing for multiple reasons, and there's not really much explanation of what's actually going on with this game and why it fell so flat. It's an interesting sort of query to ponder, but here we are with Renegade III, the final chapter on the Amstrad. Very familiar sort of opening menu screen here, very reminiscent of the likes of Total Recall, for example, and of course Operation Wolf and Operation Thunderbolt on the Amstrad CPC. That's because the developers involved are the same people, Andrew Deakin, Ivan Horn. Yes, very familiar names with Ocean and Imagine, and they did some great games. They did some really great. They even had a hand in Robocop 2 on the Amstrad GX4000, and like I said, Total Recall and the Addams Family. Man, these guys really did some good games. This was their chicken, though. This was their absolute turkey, and let's explore why, shall we? Like I say, Renegade 1, the original, and Target Renegade were very, very good and very received well on the Amstrad, and very well done. This is done in the same sort of way. It's it's a scrolling beat 'em up, a flick screen beat 'em up in exactly the same way, and it looks very nice, but looks can be deceiving, and it sounds okay as well. In fact, it's got graphics and it's got sort of, should I say, sound effects alongside music, which is good. That's a good thing, and like I say, it does look nice. It's very bright. It's certainly a step away from the previous two Renegades, where it's very garish and very bright, but you can definitely see the influences there from the likes of Total Recall and Operation Wolf, of course. The visuals, it's not about the visuals and the audio in this. The visuals and the audio are perfectly acceptable on this game. It's the really lackluster gameplay and difficulty curve. It's not been thought about at all, and that's what basically destroys this game. Many a game back in the time looked really nice. Outrun, for example, looks really nice, but once it starts moving, the gameplay implementation just hasn't been thought about, hasn't been coded correctly, and it ends up being absolutely shocking to play and no fun. And that's the key thing, isn't it? It's all about fun. Take something like Tempest. Very simple to sort of perform in vector graphics, vector line graphics, but extremely fun because it works, and it works well. So we're stuck at this point here. So during the stages, we've got, I think there's 5 stages in total. You're time travelling, blah blah blah. It doesn't really matter what the hell the plot line is, it's dopey. And you're fighting various monsters and dinosaurs apparently, and big chicken things with clubs. Yeah. That's beside the point. The point is, it's just it's broken, it's wrong. The moves that Mr. Renegade Man has, okay, well, he's got some moves. He can't fly and kick for some reason. He can punch, he can kick, he can do a low punch, which is really handy. He can do a standing jump kick. He can't do a sideways jump kick though. I haven't worked him out how to do that, but and he can jump. And that's basically what you can do. So his moveset's not too bad, a bit degraded from the previous Renegades, but he's got the moves. And he moves around in a bit of a sort of like robotic stunty way, piddling his, like tiptoeing his feet. The enemy sprites seem to be moving a lot quicker than him. But certainly what does move quick is the bloody time, because you don't get enough of it. You just don't get enough of time to cap these guys off. You get stuck in areas like this. Basically you've got to clear all the enemies off screen twice over. Let's just kill this guy who's kicking me in the head. And they're very easy to hit as well. There's a few glitches in this game as well, which is that compels matters. So these guys sort of like swarm on you, and you've got to sort of like, they get you in a pincer movement, so you can't really sort of like fight them at the same time. So you've got to jump around. There's a standing kick there. It doesn't do anything. It's not a very effective move, that. So you've got to jump around to avoid getting hit, and just basically jump, kick, turn around, jump, kick, turn around, jump, kick, and keep going. And sometimes low punch as well. That helps. And basically follow that method. Thing is, you've got to do this as quick as possible when you get to these areas, because the time's always against you. And the judge said I am going to run out of time on this first level. I always do. I have never managed to complete the first level without a time cheat. So I'm playing with no cheats at the moment. So I'm probably going to get to the second, or just after the second clearing, the second point where they all gang up on you, and the time will run out. That's what normally happens. But at the moment, I'm struggling here, because I'm not hitting these guys frequent enough, so I'm probably way behind already. yeah, and they can corner you off easy, knock you down very easily, and also when there's a lot of stuff going on screen, everything slows down to a crawl. When there's 1 or 2 sprites on screen, things move pretty rapidly. If it could maintain that speed, that would have been great, but it doesn't maintain that speed. We get slowed down to a crawl, with the time going the same speed, which that's fair, isn't it? So everything moves slower apart from the time. Brilliant. So it's just, it becomes extremely frustrating and just not fun, because you're trying to sort of like get around these guys. I mean, going through the stage before you get to these points, there's no point in actually hitting or trying to beat these guys up, because you'll just run out of time before you even get to this point, because all the time is zapped from this point in the game, this point in the level, and every level has this, by the way. There you go, look, things have speeded up now, and I'm getting hit in the head. That's not good. Kick him, there we go. I love the little birds that actually fly away and drop the dinosaurs in the eggs. That's pretty cool. So I've got 1 minute 25 seconds, and I'm not going to do this now. I needed at least 2.5 minutes at that point to sort of like even get a chance of completing the first level, but it's not going to happen. I might be able to get to the second clearing now on 1 minute and 10 seconds, but we'll see. So I'm trying to avoid these guys as much as possible and try and get down this ladder. There's just 0 point in actually trying to fight these guys, because you need to just progress through the level as quickly as possible. So essentially what you've got is very infrequent and broken gameplay, mixed up with just a ridiculous I've just mistimed that jump completely. A ridiculous time limit, which is just impossible to sort of fight against. You can't enjoy the game. You can't relax and enjoy the game when you've got a ridiculous time limit that's just too strict. We like time limits sometimes on these games because, you know, it adds a little bit of extra challenge, but this is just, it just ruins the game. Essentially, it ruins the game. So the beat 'em up mechanics are very lackluster. There could be better moves in this. The collision detection is distinctively dodgy in a lot of places. The AI is just off completely, because these things just sort of like come at you. You end up just doing the same thing, bouncing around, hit, bouncing around, hit, bouncing around, hit. There's no variance in what you can do, no variety. I'm going to run out of time. 1 second, 0, end of game. That's it. No, you don't lose a life. You just end the game. That's it. And that's another thing. So you combine that, you combine that with the off mechanics, you combine that with this ridiculous time limit. The slowdown, getting stuck in areas, and there's also border glitches as well. Not fun, and it gets on my nerves, and that's enough. I've had enough of it. Renegade 3 on the Amstrad. Cheers, Novabug out. Hey, Novabug here. I do hope you enjoyed this video. Please support the channel by liking and commenting, and of course subscribing if you haven't already done. If you would like to support me further, please consider joining my bug army via Patreon. And also don't forget to follow me over at Facebook, Twitter, BitChute and Twitch. And finally, a very special mention to my bug army generals Sam M, Sweet Nanook and Craig Harrison. Thank you everyone for supporting me. Novabug out.